Is it possible to freeze our bodies after death and come back to life in the future? Can science offer us a second chance at life? Is cryonics the key to immortality? Let's find out together in this video. Cryonics is the technique of preserving living organisms or parts of them at extremely low temperatures, usually below -190°C u -300°C, using liquid nitrogen. The goal is to keep cells and tissues intact, without damage from freezing, so they can be revived in the future when medicine advances and finds a cure for the diseases that cause death. It is worth noting that cryonics is the science that studies the production and effects of low temperatures in specific processes, such as superconductivity, rapid freezing of food, and preservation of embryos and gametes. On the other hand, cryopreservation is a branch of cryonics that refers to the preservation of biological materials, such as cells, tissues, and organs, at extremely low temperatures, usually using liquid nitrogen. Cryopreservation aims to keep cells and tissues intact, without damage from freezing, so they can be revived in the future when medicine advances and finds a cure for the diseases that cause death or loss of function. Therefore, cryopreservation is a specific application of cryonics that encompasses areas beyond medicine. It is from cryopreservation that studies on the preservation of human bodies apply. Cryonics is already successfully used in the preservation of human embryos and organs for transplants. However, when it comes to the cryopreservation of whole human beings, the story is different. There are many doubts, challenges, and controversies surrounding this practice, which still lacks scientific evidence and legal regulation in most countries. Human cryonics is a complex and expensive process that involves several steps. The first is choosing a specialized company that offers freezing and storage services for the entire body, or just the head, where the brain is located. There are few companies in the world that do this, such as Alker in the United States and Cryoris in Russia. The cost varies from $28,000 to $2,000, depending on the modality and the company. The second step is signing a contract that authorizes the company to perform the procedure after the client's death. The contract also defines who will be responsible for contacting the company when the client dies, and who will be the beneficiary of the client's assets and rights if they are revived in the future. The third step is preparing the body for freezing. Immediately after death, the body is cooled in an ice bath and receives injections of anticoagulants and protective solutions to prevent the formation of ice crystals in cells. Then, the blood is drained and replaced with a cryoprotectant liquid, which acts as an antifreeze. After that, the body is placed in a metal container and submerged in a tank of liquid nitrogen, where it remains in a state of cryogenic suspension until science can bring it back to life. Human cryonics faces various obstacles, both scientific and ethical and social. One of the main challenges is the lack of evidence that the freezing and thawing process is safe and effective in preserving the vital functions and memory of the individual. To date, no human has been revived after undergoing cryonics. Only a few animals, such as rats and rabbits, have undergone similar experiments with controversial and limited results. Another challenge is the uncertainty about the time and conditions necessary for resurrection to be possible. It is not known whether the medicine of the future will be able to cure the diseases that cause death, repair the damage caused by freezing, connect the brain to a new body, or transfer the brain's information to a device. It is also unknown whether the future society will accept and integrate individuals who come back to life and what their rights and duties will be. In addition, there are ethical and moral issues involving human cryonics. For example, what is the boundary between life and death? Does cryonics respect the dignity and will of the individual? Does cryonics interfere with the natural cycle of life and death? Is cryonics a form of selfishness or hope? Is cryonics a matter of faith or science? Despite uncertainties and difficulties, some people opt for human cryonics, driven by different motivations and expectations, such as seeking a cure for incurable or terminal diseases like cancer, AIDS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis (ALS), and Alzheimer's, seeking immortality or life extension, fearing death, desiring to see the future and fulfill their dreams, seeking adventure or novelty, curiosity or fascination with science and technology, or seeking to preserve identity or memory, attachment or love for family, friends, and the world. These individuals place their hopes in a future where technology will enable the achievement of what currently seems impossible. They believe that cryonics is a way to bet on life, even after death. However, the complexity of this issue involves many factors. Imagine a distant future where cryonics has proven true, and the first humans start to be thawed and brought back to life. The company responsible for cryonics announces that it has developed technology capable of restoring the vital functions and memory of its first patient using nanorobots, stem cells, and artificial intelligence. It further claims that the thawing and revival process was a success, and the patient was in perfect health and consciousness. The news would have a significant impact on society, eliciting various reactions. Some would celebrate the achievement as a triumph of science and life and express interest in undergoing cryonics. Others would criticize the practice as a violation of nature and death, questioning the ethics and legality of the responsible company. Some would doubt the truth of the revival and demand evidence and testimonies. The patient, in turn, would feel confused and scared in their new reality. They would not recognize the world they lived in or the people around them. They would feel displaced and lonely, without family, friends, or purpose. They would also feel guilty for abandoning their wife and children who died decades ago. They would wonder if choosing cryonics was worth it, and if there was any hope for their future. All of this is just fiction at the moment. Would the thawed patient adapt to their new world? What would be the legal implications? How would the public react? Furthermore, how would interpersonal relationships be in a world where some individuals have a past spanning decades or even centuries? Considering cultural evolution, how would the assimilation of values and norms from a past era to the contemporary world be? Would the patient's accumulated experiences and knowledge be valued or disregarded? How would society deal with technological changes during the cryopreservation period? Regarding identity and belonging issues, how would medicine and science handle possible physical and biological changes during the cryonics process? What challenges would arise in reintegrating this individual into society in terms of health and well-being? Addressing economic issues, how would cryogenic preservation be funded on a large scale? And who would have access to this technology? How would the human mind react to waking up in an unknown future, possibly without known relatives or friends? Finally, how could cryonics impact traditional notions of life, death, and the very meaning of human existence? These are just some of the fascinating questions that arise when exploring the potential thawing and its profound impacts on the fabric of human existence. Cryonics and immortality are topics that have sparked human imagination and debate for centuries. Cryonics is a technique that promises to preserve the body and brain after death, in the hope of reviving them in the future when science advances and finds a cure for the diseases that cause death. Immortality is the dream of living forever, without aging, getting sick, or dying. Are cryonics and immortality still myths or realities? The answer is, it depends. It depends on perspective, belief, ethics, science, and time. For now, human cryonics is a controversial practice, without scientific proof, legal regulation, and a guarantee of success. But who knows, in the future, it might become a reality and offer us a second chance at life. What do you think of cryonics and immortality? Would you like to freeze your body after death and come back to life in the future? Do you think it is possible, desirable, and ethical? Comment down below. I am Samuel, and this is Every Life Chronicles. I hope you enjoyed the video. It certainly took some effort on my part. I would be grateful if you liked and subscribed to the channel. I am very happy to continue my journey here on YouTube. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, so I would be very grateful if you could help me by subscribing to the channel in exchange for the knowledge you gained in this video. Until next time,